Welcome to the quick tour of Small Business Admin. Small Business Admin has been developed over 15 years and includes all the essential tools for running a business, from marketing through to quotes, POs and invoices, and including Dispatch Notes. So whatever type of business you're running, you can be paperwork efficient. Now, this isn't going to be some kind of Bond movie, but it is a very neat business tool, so I hope you'll bear with me. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the functions. Setting up couldn't be easier. Click on Setup Preferences and simply key in your details. Right, you're ready to start. Once you've done that, you're ready to start sending your suppliers and customers paperwork. So we're going to return to the menu and have a look at where we could do this sort of type of thing from. Now I'm going to start with companies. By clicking on companies, you'll get to review a list. Every section of the database appears first in a list. There are standard buttons across the top that are applicable to each aspect of the database. So if you're in companies, clicking on new will give you a new company, and the alert will mention this to you. Are you sure you want to create a new company? Well, yes we do, just to show you how it works. Now the company record is set up with the company name ready for you to key in your details. So I'm going to put in a demo company. Now it's important that when you're doing this stuff, you put it in right the first time, as this data is going to be used many times over. So keying in small letters, no. Put it in right the first time, and then whenever you send paperwork, it'll all be neat and tidy and appear just as you want it to. Now you can see from this, I'm not a very good typist, but you don't have to be, because as I said, get it right the first time and you won't have to repeat yourself time and again. Now over here we can enter a website, and by clicking on the company websites button, it will actually try and launch that website for you. I won't do this because obviously demo.com doesn't exist, but when you've got sensible data in there, it's a really useful thing to be able to get directly to your client's website from the company records themselves. Now I'm going to enter a business subcategory. Again, you can edit this list to suit your business and the type of businesses that you're dealing with, but this is just an example. I'm going to put that this is an accountant and that they're an associate company. The subcategory again is an edit list, so you can again subcategorize by whatever you wish. At the bottom here you can put in as many different contacts for this company as you like, from the receptionist name right through to the MD themselves. So I'm very fond of 3-letter names as they're quick and easy to type, and especially when you're trying to demo things. Right, so jim@demo.com. Now over on the right here you can see there's two boxes, one for marketing and one for Christmas cards. And this means that when you say you're going to take somebody off your Christmas card list, you can actually mean it. Unticking the box means that they won't appear on your list. The marketing one is there so that you can add many different contacts in here, but not all of them necessarily will wish to receive your details that you send out through the marketing section of your database. You might have noticed the different tabs across the top here, and these are all holding details about the information under that tab for that particular record. Now if I go back to list, I can find a company that might actually have some details under it. So for Algarve, you can see that we've sent him one invoice, and by clicking on any of those things it automatically opens up the invoice. Now none of this will look right in the entry views, which is what you're looking at the moment, but by clicking on the print button this will change into the client facing material that would have been set up when you put in your preferences on the first screen. I've digressed slightly, so I'm going to go back to the main menu so that you can see how we might go about some of these other tasks. Now if I wanted to quote Algarve removals, you'll see that the quote button is available to us on the front of the main details. It's also available under the quote tab. In true Blue Peter fashion, I'm going to go and look at one that I did earlier. Now all of these are drop down menus so that you can actually associate your quote to anybody who's in your database already. The idea is that you can put in a quantity of anything that you're selling, and this needn't necessarily be products that you're selling. In this case we've got a drop down list of software packages, but it could be things that you put in there like time, Maybe you're a design company and you have scan charges or artwork charges, or maybe you're a web design company and what you actually want to do is put in 2 hours worth of work. Now the unit cost will obviously be what it costs you to employ your person, but in this case it's what it costs us to buy in the product. Now clicking on the PO, if there isn't a PO number, then what it will do, it will go away and it will create a purchase order for that particular product that you put into your main quote. And this means that you can keep an eye on all of your costs that are accumulating against a quote as well. Now I'm going to go back so that I can actually complete my quote, and you'll see that the purchase orders themselves, the number is now registered against it, so I could actually just simply view the purchase order that I created against that quote. Please note the back buttons appear everywhere. Now the orange buttons on this screen mean that my entry details can be converted into something that you actually want your client to see, because you don't want to see how much money you're making out of each particular item. You might also note that there are different VAT rates that are applicable here as well. And as it's likely that we're going to get new VAT rates in the future, I'll go back later and I'll show you how you can set up varying VAT rates there. Now, if I click on email the quote, what will happen was it will ask me to set up my page type first of all. As this is a cross-platform product, you can work on a Mac or a PC, and that means that sometimes the page setups don't always sit nicely. So each time you can change that accordingly. Now, this looks good to me, so I can click on continue, PDF, and what will happen is it will attach the PDF. Please note at the bottom here, the attached document. If there's anything else you wish to attach, you could actually attach another file. So whether that be a picture or anything else you wish to send out with this document. Now, down on the right-hand side, there is a composition helper. For the really observant amongst you, you might have noticed there's a standard paragraphs button on the front menu. And what this means is that you can build a collection of things that you do and send regularly. So if I wanted to put my company introduction in as part of the quote, I can simply click to preview it and make sure it's the right thing that I want to include on my quote, and then click on the arrow and that'll transfer it across into the body of my message. So it should be click, 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 and your email is done. The email addresses themselves that appear here come because of the contacts that you've put into your company record. And I can now move across the email addresses that I want and then click send, and it will send out the email. A bit like Apple, this is a demo system, so it might take you just a little bit longer to actually send the thing for real. Now, you'll see the buttons at the top, menu, companies, appear everywhere, but in this case, I'm going to click my back button and go back to my quote.